Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is July 27th, 2019. In the Lord of 2019 and 6 o'clock p.m. California time. And today I do not have a topic, so we are just going to do random. I'm wondering, is this talk is going to be technical or you know perhaps includes or non-technical technical meaning programming languages, math stuff like that. Non-technical means YouTube, politics, and stuff, the general life and stuff. So technical and non-technical, every time I do a video, let's do okay, so let's get ready. Okay, so let me get ready. So you need this window over here so you can see, and I need programming blog. So I'm going to go over my blogs and talk about interesting things. Things are interesting. There's so many interesting things. 1,000 millions of interesting things. Pop out the chat, and let's verify if I'm alive. Actually, I know I am because I can move. You see. Now it's okay. So talk. Let's talk. Often when I do a video, I have actually let me tell you about this. Okay, so yesterday I did. Let's go to YouTube. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, I did a great video talk show lecture. And that's about. Okay, here's a combinatorial exploration of possible algebraic structures. That's yesterday, and okay, this one Emacs live stream, Emacs Lisp for beginner. This one is also this one is very popular. 2,000 views. That's popular for me. And usually when you do videos, usually when you do practical stuff, a lot of people watch you. But anyway, I was going to say, so let's go to my channel. Okay, Xali channel, the channel of Xali. So if you are here, say hi, type your comments and opinions. Okay. So here's my YouTube channel, and yes, okay, and there are a few very interesting videos I did. I think it's fairly good. So one of them is this one, Xa Talk Show, July 19th. Lisp syntax, symbolic expression, meta expression, and mathematical expression. Okay, this one so far it's got 600 views. Okay, so check this out. This is good. This is about Lisp syntax. This is like this is like my 15 years of experience, my 15 years of ranting against the Lisp syntax, against the Lisp phonetics, especially the common Lisp fucks, those idiots, online when you talk about things among programmers, like often it happens often. Okay, actually I can tell you why this happens. It happens often that when you say 1 plus 1 equals to 2, but in a community they do not they think they do not believe it. They think 1 plus 1 equals to 3. This happens in programming community. So anyway, so this video is about Lisp syntax, the issues, some of the issues, details. If you code Lisp, you'll know. So that's one video, and let me explain why that such thing happened. Okay, so anyway, so that's one video, and the other video, very interesting, is this one. Lisp Mathematica, term rewriting, pattern matching. Okay, term rewriting, pattern matching. Basically, this video is about the meaning of symbolic languages. What's the significance of symbols in a programming language? Lisp and Mathematica has symbols, not other languages. So if you are a Emacs fan or Lisp fan or programming language fan, check out these two videos. So that's pretty good. There are also a Python video that's where it's anyway. So that's what I did yesterday, and okay. So you know what? So I was mentioning before. The programming language communities sometimes they believe in false, patently false things. So why does that happen? I mean, you think these are programmers, or engineers, they have scientific training. Well, a lot of them have, at least, you know, but it's easy to understand the situation when you look at religion. Actually, so this is some kind of, it's kind of like the condition of humanity. You can look at religion, or you can look, um, actually the gist of it is tribal, the from a academic uh, point of view, you call this kind of behavior tribalism. Basically, each of us, you know uh, are biased. Even something like when you have a fact, you don't see, you always see only your side of it. You don't see other side of it. So one easy way to see that is in religion. You have many religions, and these days, since the past 20 years, you have atheism. It's and it's becoming something. And then you have, today you have, the social justice warriorism. Okay, that's kind of become a religion of its own, irrational stuff. So why this happen? It's because grouping and community. So Lisp programmers, for example, they are, they want to uphold their community. Emacs people, they want to uphold their community. Python, and Perl, and so on, and Haskell, of course. And you see, so you want to, so there is, you can understand it also by thinking about your own family. Like many things in society, you can, like politics, complicated. You can reduce it. You can, try to get an understanding by reducing the number of people. For example, economics, capitalism, communism, that involves billions of people. It's about a system, very complicated. But often you can get some understanding and insight by reducing the number of people to, let's just say, 10, your family or your neighborhood. So uh, so for example, in your neighborhood of, let's say, 10 people, or your among your schoolmates or work co-workers, let's say 10 people, and you think, let's say, if your family member, let's say your brother, okay, so if he did something wrong, that it is wrong, and other people are attacked, fighting with him, other family, other members, outside of your family, outside of your community. So they are fighting with your brother because there's certain issues, you know, and to you, maybe it's clear, everyone says your brother did these very bad things, and to you, maybe you think that's actually true. Your brother actually did something very bad. But the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to protect him? Are you going to lie for him? Oh, we didn't do anything, because this is the meaning of tribalism. Often it has to do with your bloodline, kinship. uh, how, like, how close someone is to you, you tend to support that person. The closest, the smallest group of people is yourself, then your immediate bloodline, kins, family, your dad, your parents or your children, and then your brothers, then your relatives, then your neighborhood, your community, your country, then earthlings, human animals, as opposed to aliens. So like every time we see what sci-fi movies, we have alien invasion. Why alien? Because why there's all this conflict? Because they are aliens. They are outside of your group. So in the same way, if your brother did something wrong, there's a question: are you going to support him or not? On one hand, he did something wrong. It's bad for humanity in general because he steal things, or something, he took bribes or something like that, or something. It's bad for the whole group of people. But however, within your group, your family, you know if you support him, like you protect him, it's good for you, you see. So so this is a eternal conflict. So anyway, so so that's it's the general behavior of problems, issues of humanity. Shall we say? Sometimes many issues in society, it's you know, as a manner of saying, it's not too complicated. Um, but you don't hear these kind of things every day. Although sometimes it's apparent because, hey, good morning, George. What's up? Uh, So anyway, that's about that topic. About So today I'm just going to talk random stuff. So George, you are from Southern California. Am I correct? If I didn't remember incorrectly. Uh, and okay, so what shall we talk about? So George, give us a topic. Give me a topic, like a direction. So anyway, I was saying there are these two programming language list videos I did yesterday. That's I think it's pretty good. So check it out. And okay, oh, Perth, Australia. Perth, yes, Perth, Australia. By the way, are you on Mastodon? Are you the guy on Mastodon? That that is the question, because there's someone on Mastodon, and I was wondering. Okay, so shall we, so let's talk about, let's go through my website and let's give some random updates. Oh, you used to be on Mastodon. Okay, then it's someone else. I think he is also on from Perth, Australia. Perth. So it's interesting. I started to know people. I mean, online people from Perth. Which is, I learned it's a western part of Australia. Uh, Google Map. Okay, let's go to Google Map. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So you introduced me to the No Agenda show. I see. Now that was on Twitter, right? That was on Twitter. I don't remember exactly, like, which account you are. I'm sorry about that, because that's part of, I'm not very famous, but I do have, write blogs, so I don't remember. But I do, yeah, I don't remember exactly the names, and but I do remember. Yes, it was on Twitter. I think you showed me. Then I joined Mastodon, because Mastodon, remember 2 years ago, the social justice scan are saying that, oh, we have a new social network that is going to, gonna not have Nazis, which is untrue. That's not the origin of Mastodon. But anyway, oh, you deleted all social media. Yeah, okay, that's a good thing. That's yeah, yeah, so what are we going to talk about? I was going to look at the map Perth in Australia. So, I always wanted to, like, every time I do that, I want to look at the street photos, street view. This is where I live. This is San Jose, California, San Francisco. So for those of you who don't know, let me give you like a introduction to the Silicon Valley. Okay, an introduction to Silicon Valley. First of all, let me show you. Okay, there it is, the United States map. Then United States. The Hong Kong situation. Yeah, I can talk about that, but actually I don't know much about that. So I was born in Taiwan. I've never been to Hong Kong. I've never been to China. Uh, I don't want to, like the Hong Kong people. I think they have issues. Okay, now this is a political thing, so that things I say, especially you know, like the typical, when I say something, it's gonna offend people. Like um, like in Chinese people, there are Chinese people all over the world, but mostly it's in China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. These are, three of the like well known, especially among Westerners. But even disregard Westerners, there's a political tension among us, let's say among the Chinese people, and so Hong Kong people, I don't think they are. I mean, they have issues. I'm going to tell you what. Okay, but of course, then Hong Kong. I have followers from Hong Kong and Taiwan and China. Yeah, like sometimes there are things you'd rather not say because you say it, people doesn't like you, and that's that's what happens. But I do criticize Emacs and Lisp all the time, even though that is my community. But when it's like it's not something you want to keep talking about. Like okay, Hong Kong, what's the problem? The way I see, Hong Kong people, they are, especially with Western influence, American, the white people. Okay, I'm sorry, that's they Hong Kong. Okay, the situation is, about 200 years ago, or 150 years ago, when UK, United Kingdom, they invaded, they abused because they have more powerful ships, cannons and sparkling ships. So about 200 years ago, they kill Chinese people, whatever, burn buildings, and so China lost, because China was in a situation for reasons that uh, the Western has developed science and technology more advanced than China, so they have guns and ships. So anyway, China lost. So the Hong Kong, they sign agreement. Okay, Hong Kong now belongs to me. The UK, the United Kingdom says now Hong Kong belongs to me. Dare you say no? You say no, I gonna kill 1 billion, 2 more million of your people. That's what happens in war. That's why you sign these agreements. It's not like you agree or not agree. So Hong Kong belongs to United Kingdom. uh, today's social justice fucks. They hate America. It's like so that's kind of their thing to say. Because the white people colonialism. But the thing is, human animals throughout history, it's like that. It's not just white people. It's not just you know uh, Chinese people or Japanese people or German people. It's like it just happens. Okay, it just happens. The powerful, take advantage of the less. And today, like today in USA, the powerful are taking advantage of the less powerful. Who are these powerful people? They are the social justice fuckheads, Google people, the CEO, whatever, Google, Facebook, and the Democratic Party. That's what happened. That's what they are doing. The social, and they sing the song of justice. They are the Nazis. This is how Nazi arise. They it's not like nobody doesn't like evil. Everyone knows, what is evil. But how did evil arise throughout history? How did evil arise? Well, they begin with singing the good songs of helping people. Oh, we are helping. We need to do this so the everyone gets better. That's they grow by the songs of morality. That's what the social justice gang are doing today. So anyway, Hong Kong, United Kingdom, they took Hong Kong, and China is in a civil war, very bad. More bloody than one of the most more bloody than American Civil War, for example, far more bloody. In a civil, so they are in a chaos. So in let's say around 1950s, the white the UK are prosperous. They own places around the globe. Like you wonder, like, let me show you this. Okay, I'm gonna just talk about random things. Okay. uh so what am I doing? Okay, I'm doing 6 people watching. Guys, say hi. Okay, type the stuff, type it. So let me show you this story I have. Okay, saw Unicode. I'm kind of rambling all over, but I'll get back to the topic about Hong Kong. Unicode, Unicode stars. Okay, let's go to Saudi Unicode. Click. Am I doing okay? Like sometimes am I, poof, hi, poof, Hokken, Hokkensu, Hokkensu, typed hi. Hokkensu. Is that a Japanese name or a Chinese name? Hokkensu. That's usually a Japanese name. So let me show you there are flags of the world. Let me show you the flags of the world. When I was young, any young people, when you look at, sometimes like usually when you are young, you look at all the flags of the world. And when you look at it's colorful and very different, and you learn as teachers say, you learn geography or education, you learn about the world. But as a child, you look at the world, you look at all the flags, you will notice, you see, many of them share similar patterns. Okay, for example, this northern Europe, they are all like that, across. uh, Yeah, you can display Unicode in Emacs. Sure, for example, uh, Unicode. Okay, here's my Unicode page and emoticons. Go to the emoticon page. Why is it taking so long? Okay, so here's my emoticon page. You can view in browser. So and you can go back to Emacs and you can see all the emoticons. You see, so they are showing inside Emacs. Uh, yeah, so let's go back to the flags. Um, so when you look at the flags, you'll notice that many of the flags has this Union Jack. This pattern of the United Kingdom flag is a Union Jack. You notice as a child, okay, you don't know anything about politics. But as a child, you notice many flags has these Union Jack patterns. Let me show you. Especially in Oceania, countries like Australia and Canada too. Actually, where is it? Okay, United Kingdom related flags. So you wonder, when you are a child, obviously you'll notice this. All these have a Union Jack in it. Why? Why? Of course, when you are adult, you know why. Because the United Kingdom, they go around, they take places. That's what happens. So back to the Hong Kong stuff. So United Kingdom, they back in the so-called imperialism, what they they took over Hong Kong when China. Okay, and China is poor. Here's Hong Kong. Here's Taiwan. China was poor. Hong Kong is living in comfort. I mean, Hong Kong is rich. United Kingdom. They are. Hong Kong is an important port. A very critical geographic location because it's, in other words, it's critical. If for military or for commercial. Makes money for United Kingdom. So anyway, and United Kingdom is, has, they got money, they are comfortable. So the people, the Chinese people in Hong Kong, they are not citizens. By the way, you think, oh, Hong Kong, the democracy. Oh, the white people, the democracy are great. So Hong Kong people have United Kingdom citizenship. No, not really. You are kind of second-rate citizens. Okay, you are not. You are still Chinese. You just have you live in Hong Kong. But anyway, but there's a good thing I must say. The UK people, they did not. You are not slaves. Okay, you are not slaves in Hong Kong. As a Chinese, if you are Chinese in Hong Kong, you are not slaves. But in fact, you live in comfort. The Hong Kong is built by UK. You live in the comfort of the Western prosperity. Essentially, pretty much means materialistically. You have fancy cars, so BMW. The fuck Hong Kong people. They love that. They particularly love the status, anything that show off status, like Rolex watches. Hong Kong people love that. You know, big diamonds, and they love cruelty. Basically any phenomenon that contrasts or shows the superior, the superior, the status, the class of above others. Hong Kong people love that. Not so much in America. Americans don't usually care about status. I mean, you have like billionaires. You can even tell. You cannot tell he's a billionaire. He just dressed like, especially tech nerds. This depends on the region. Some countries, their culture. Some countries are highly status conscious, and one of the most high status conscious people culture is Chinese. Okay, we Chinese, very status conscious. So of Chinese people, you will often see them, wear those, very expensive watches. The rich, very expensive watches, cars, and so on. And Hong Kong is particularly Hong Kong. So anyway, I was saying, so UK took over Hong Kong, and Hong Kong people lives in, enjoys the Western materialistic prosperity. Okay, so but why do I not like, Hong Kong people in general? Why do I have a negative view? Here's why. Okay, you see, it's like, suppose you were born poor. Okay, I'm gonna read the comments in a bit. I can. Uh, so suppose you were born in a poor family, but then your brother, let's let's say your brother got adapted. No, let's say you. Okay, so suppose you were born in a very poor family, poverty. You have to struggle to to eat, hunger. Then you got adopted. Let's say when you are 5 years old, you got adopted by a rich family. So you are separated from your family. You are taken over, live in this rich family, mansions and houses. The spoons are made of silver and gold. Silver spoon. So then when you are 10, you got a BMW. When you are 15, you drive fancy car. You are very rich. That creates a psychological situation in you. Okay, because now your parents is very rich, your adopted parents, but they are not your biological parents. Meanwhile, you still have your biological parents, but they are very poor. So there's this psychological conflict when it comes to loyalty. It happens. Suppose your adopted parents doesn't like your biological parents. They got into a fight over something. Let's say the question to you is, who you gonna support? Are you gonna support your rich adopted family, where who you see every day? You live in mansions, and can have anything you want, or are you going to support your biological parents, who you haven't seen for years? And you know that that's a psychological conflict created in such a situation. And that is the situation of the Chinese people in Hong Kong. Okay, I don't like them. They are you cannot blame them totally. I mean, this is just a situation. It so happens. So every day they live under the UK rule, uh, as a second class citizens. You cannot get you cannot become a UK citizen. But however, you enjoy materialistic prosperity. And in general, the Hong Kong people, they look down on Chinese people back then. Not today is something different, because China becomes this huge, prosperous global economy. Sending people to the space stations. That's China doing that now since like 2005. Okay, but back then, let's say 1990s, or 1980s even, China is poor, like very poor. But Hong Kong people are very wealthy, so they look down on the the Chinese people in China, because they are like you just look down on them. But also every day newspapers, and you hear what you hear every day since you were born. The Hong Kong people is the Western media, the United Kingdom. They tell you what should be, what the world is, how history are. That's what Hong Kong people had. That's what they are. That's their situation. So I don't. So So what can you do? This is what happens when you have this situation. Can you blame? It's can you blame? So I don't like in general, the Hong Kong people has this issue. Okay, I don't like them. Uh, and then so it's like you have this kind of identity crisis. Like the rich parent analogy. On one hand, you were born by these parents who are very poor, but now you live under these rich people, rich parent rule. You know who are you going to be loyal to? That's the problem. You don't have the white skin. Hong Kong people. You don't have blue eyes. Fuck Hong Kong people. I'm sorry. I have like a lot of Chinese followers who support me. Mostly, it so happens on mainland China. I don't even know them, but and there are some people like follow me on for Emacs and stuff in Hong Kong and Taiwan. So this is not something when you say opinions like that, they they don't like you anymore. But we have to realize, that's just people. I mean, everyone is, there's So what I'm saying, okay, so here's the thing. The thing. So what can you do about, like, in society, in living in life? Often there's a situation where, let's say, you see injustice. You see some injustice going on. The question is, are you going to disclose it? You know, because if you disclose it, if this injustice happens on someone else, like outside of your circle, then sure, you can, criticize it, attack it, no problem. But when this injustice happens to in your community, your brothers, your family, your parents or whatever, what are you gonna do? Are you going to expose it? That's the problem. So I mean, and this is not just one-off problem. This happens every day, everywhere, throughout history. So the Hong Kong situation is like, what am I going to do? I mean, am I going to, stop, oh, shut up about that? That's, that's not really good thing. You don't. That's not a good thing to do. But also, you don't want to, like, like, make it a habit to tell everyone, oh, Hong Kong people is this situation, fuck, they are fuck faces, that. So anyway, so for those of you Hong Kong people following me, that's just my opinion, that's all. Okay, so okay, George has to go. So difficult topic, for example, how about all the immigrants move to the US? Yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so actually, so what else I'm gonna talk about? Actually, I think I already talked about for 40 minutes. Okay, we still have some time. We can talk more. Talk more. Okay. So guys, 7 people watching, whoever you are, say something. It will increase the color of this talk show, and I'm going to drink this massive megaton, 1 megaton of juice. What juice is this? I don't know what juice. Orange. Oh, orange juice. No, this is orange plus pineapple. So Hong Kong people, and of course with the nameless brand of Red Bull, essentially concentrated caffeine. So Hong Kong people, okay, that's Hong Kong. But I was going to give you a introduction to the Silicon Valley for those of you outside. So are you guys in USA or Kent? Are you in USA? Good morning, Bartholomew. Bartholomew, you missed our appointment last time. Okay, so you were not feeling well. Okay, yeah. So Bartholomew, actually, so on that day, I talked about the meaning of symbolic languages, and it turned out well. So you might check it out. 2 videos. One is, so like 2 days ago, 2 videos. One day and the next day. So that's about the meaning of symbolic languages and about Lisp syntax. So I think you might check it out. Um, but I didn't get exactly what are you interested. Like, what are you? What kind of programming? You are a programmer, right? What kind of programming you do, and what kind of type it. Let me know because I probably will forget. But I mean, the point is just I will remember. At least some of it. Like type opinions, topics, so we can talk about things. So anyway, so here's USA, and USA Okay, I'm going to do a introduction to the geography of USA, something like that. But uh, so Bartholomew, you are in Germany, right? Yeah. Okay, so you are in Germany, and Ken, are you in US or not? Because if you guys are in US, then it's not worthwhile to talk about US. But usually foreign countries, like whoever you are, the places outside, you don't know, like a lot of people, for example, Chinese people, they wouldn't know, like often they wouldn't know where is LA or where is San Francisco. They just know, it's USA. So anyway, on the west, you have East Coast here, West Coast. This interesting, okay, East Coast, West Coast, and you have what's called Midwest. This is like actually over here it's called Midwest, and this is southern USA. You are interested in California, so let me read the comments. Okay. Oh, you are in PA. PA is Pennsylvania, right? Like around 2005, a friend, a white guy, he's like 10 years older than me. I'm 50, so he's a philosopher. He's actually a philosopher with a certified philosopher, and he took me a ride. We rode from Sacramento, West Coast here, all the way to Pennsylvania because he is moving there. So it's a 5 days ride. Actually, it's a good thing to do. If you are American, if you live in USA, um, it's a good thing to do it. Like once. So you get to see. It takes about 5 days to drive from East Coast to coast, and then you get to see. You drive for like 16 hours, and you stop at a hotel, motel. You sleep over, then you drive again. Uh, Lunch, dinner, you eat. Alone the road. So it's a good thing to do. So you get to see, all over the places, Earth, not just USA, but Earth, part of the Earth. Um, but USA in general, USA, the culture of USA is not very. Basically, you have the coast, you have the West Coast, you have the East Coast, then you have the kind of the southern, which is kind of this area, the north south area. Uh, so what I'm saying, what's my point? So anyway, so it's interesting to go through. But anyway, here over here is Silicon Valley. It's so-called Silicon Valley. So here's San Francisco. All these areas here where I have a star, that's called uh, San Francisco Bay area. So this area is called San Francisco Bay Area, and you see all these yellow roads, very busy. So this is Silicon Valley. All the companies, Google is here, Google, PayPal, Facebook, Uber, Amazon. Well, Amazon is actually not here. Headquarter is not here, but IBM, Apple is all here. So that's why it's called. Basically 90% of all the online companies, they began here and mostly are still here. It's called Silicon Valley. Um, so I'm here, Mountain View. So let me show you. So Palo Alto, Mountain View, Google is right here. Google is here. You see the Googleplex. So Googleplex is like 30 minutes, 40 minutes walk from my house. So all over me, it's like all over me. If I go outside, all of me, it's Google buildings. They have buildings all over the place, and Google employees. When I see a Google programmer, like, oh, he work at Google, I spit like, fuck, idiot. This today. Not so. Let's say back in, let's say, 2000 to 2010. So Bartholomew says, what makes you one of the most interesting streamers is that you talk about a lot of different topics, but you don't repeat the mainstream shit everyone else is saying. Yeah. Uh, you have your own opinions, which are interesting too. Okay. Hello, Abdul. So, Ken, so have you ever been to California? So today is very hot. California is a sunny state, because it doesn't rain here. Like every in a year it rains only like 3 times. Seriously, it's always sunny and good weather, no rain. Can you tell us some interesting places you visit in SV, Silicon Valley? Oh, I'm interesting for a computer geek. Well, that depends on what you mean, because actually, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing interesting. I've been living here for like 30 years, since 1989. Well, in 1989, I came to where I am right now, based Mountain View. Okay, so in 1989, I came from here, Montreal, Canada. Here, you see. So I flew here in 1989. I arrived at Sunnyvale, actually, and basically since I lived around this area. I lived in Illinois in 1995 for half a year. Illinois here, Champaign, Champaign, Illinois. That's where Wufan Research is at. It's somewhere here. Okay, Nashville, Memphis, St. Louis. Okay, uh, Indianapolis. So where is Champaign? It's a small college town where University of Illinois is at. But anyway, it's somewhere here. So Champaign here. So I lived there for half a year in 1995. Yes, and I also lived in Maryland for like 4 months, because this is because I had a girlfriend. Interesting story in the 2000s, Maryland. So, can you tell us something interesting to visit in California? That really depends on what, like like are you looking for a place for fun to visit for a nerd? Yeah, I cannot. I actually I cannot think of anything, because actually, where I live, there is a very famous computer museum, Mountain View here, computer museum right here. So so a lot of people visit there, and I went there a couple of times. And sometimes on Twitter or social network, you can see people, posting photos, like just search for computer museum, Mountain View. But so I go there. I didn't really actually find it interesting, you know, because usually these kind of museum places, they are designed to attract the masses, the average people, the people who don't know anything about computers, who doesn't know anything about computer science, engineering, that kind of people. So this museum, all for children, children, which is a popular, audience of these museums. So one consequence of that is the museum, the way they exhibit things is usually like it's like watered down and or um, made it more dramatic. You know, usually not interesting. Although, but the old computers you can still see. So for us, programmers, we go there. We want to see. There's historical computers, right? So you go there, you want to see them all, but usually it's like it's not there. Like only only one of the things there, then and you cannot see details, and they have all these explanations, for the common people, like incorrect explanations or things like that. It's like a tourist place. It's almost like a so I don't really enjoy this museum kind of thing. Oh, there's a Intel museum here. I didn't know. So Intel is here, and Netscape is here. Netscape Mozilla is also here. Anyway, so interesting places to visit. And also I don't go out much, almost not at all. So you know, in my life, the number of times I visited, bars or dance club, maybe once in 10 years. That's probably about right. Yeah, I've visited clubs or bars, maybe 5 times in my life. I'm 50 years old. And when I go to a bar, I get extremely nervous. Like I don't know what to do. So, but bars and dance clubs, a lot of people, most normal people enjoy. So y- you have to ask them. Dance clubs, they tell you things like that. Oh, and by the way, San Francisco, of course, is known for strip clubs. That is, girls taking off their clothes naked and spread their legs in front of your face, like like 2 inches. And it's in San Francisco. The heart of the social justice can, and it's on this O'Hara Street, Broadway. I think Broadway. Yeah, that's you can go there. Uh, Everyone goes. That's the as a traveler, or as a local. You go there. So I'm interested for computer geek. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really. So, well, there's one thing I know. I mean, if you are a computer programmer and you haven't been to here before, of course, one thing you wanna do is you wanna look at the buildings or headquarters of all the famous corporations like Google, Facebook. Okay, Google is here. I can tell you, like Facebook is somewhere here in Redwood City. Uber is in San Francisco. Lots of them. Apple is down here. IBM is also here. So there are maps. They sell. They have pictures. All these companies. You can. It would be interesting to me if I if I'm here the first time. I would look at these companies. Just look at what their building looks like. That would be interesting to me. Are there many meetup for programmers in Silicon Valley? Yeah, of course, thousands. Actually, yesterday, 2 days ago, we just went to a meetup, Emacs meetup in Mountain View. Thanks to the Jeff guy, and I met John Wigley, who is the current maintainer or leader of the Emacs, GNU Emacs. So if you just search for Emacs Meetup San Francisco, they are meetup every day. Meets up every day around this area. Every day, thousands like Ruby meetups, Python, Lisp, Clojure. Whatever technology. There's programming languages every day. Essentially every day, and you can start one yourself. So Emacs Meetup San Francisco. So you guys a lot. Check it out. So it's good. It's started by this Jeff Troll guy, and I met him several times by now. I met 4 or 5 times, and he's he's very nice guy, very smooth, and very uh, kind guy. So so check it out. Emacs meetup. Uh, so Jeff, yeah, so he's a guy who began it, I think. So anyway, just search for Emacs Meetup San Francisco. They have meetup every month, I think, at least every month. Sometimes in San Francisco, sometimes in Mountain View. You know. So anything else? Type stuff. Abdo, where you from? So I've been talking for, yeah, okay, so I've been talking for an hour. So we are going to, I think that's about it. Silicon Valley. So the world is a big place, and today we are in this AI era. So what is a proper term for our era? It used to be info era in the 90s. Info era, or you call it digital era. Um, there's no fixed term, by the way. This how these terms arouse is usually it's due to how people use it. Anyway, so or you can call it today. We have basically. I think it's proper to call it AI era today because specifically in the past 10 years, let's say starting from 2010, this artificial intelligence thing, or mostly machine learning, data mining, machine learning, there's a exponential growth in since 2010, and there are significant impact to the world. I mean, we cannot actually see it right now, but it's pretty big, and um, I don't know it's going to be good or bad. That's a big question. So okay, so I think that's it. What else? Greetings from OZ. Have a great day, Xa. Cat 44. Where is OZ? Wizard of Oz. What else? So Unicode. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. So Shintu, Australia. Oh, OZ is from Australia. Let's see. OZ. Well, it seems that there are a lot of people coming from Australia. I didn't know anything about Australia before. It's like, before, let's say 2016, okay? It's like, okay, well, yeah, there's Australia where you have these animals, marsupial, kangaroo, and you have kiwi fruit. That's almost like all I know about Australia. But since 2016, um, oh, Aussie is a slang for Australia. Oh, I didn't know. But since 2016, the social justice, stuff is on the news every day. Like every day. Oh, this is feminism. Oh, trans or rights. Every day. And riots. And that is when I learned about Australia a lot more because they are real, on the news like feminism, yeah, feminism stuff every day, feminism, this, that. Then I realized that there I learned a lot about Australia. For example, there is this girl, a woman, who began the Quillette um, website, which is a they publish articles, usually, you know trying to fight the social justice people. She is from Australia. So you see, since 2016, it's like all of a sudden, I read news, then I learned a lot of things about Australia. Then I realized, feminism stuff, it's pretty bad. The social justice scan is very bad in Australia. Like even more so than USA, and also in Canada, it's pretty bad. Like they also do censorship and stuff. That I guess that's a negative thing about Australia. Then, you know that's that's how, that's just a fact. That's how I've heard a lot about Australia since 2016. Then a lot of you guys, it turns out a lot for some reason, I don't know. Watching my YouTube are from Australia, and many of them are from Perth. I didn't know that, Perth. So Perth is apparently a big city. And also, I met this girl. She is amazing. She's also in Perth, not in person but online. Um, so yeah, Australia. So it's pretty big. It's a big country. Of you guys who are in Australia, you are probably, whatever what I'm saying is probably silly to you, like all wrong or stuff. Hold on a second. Let me show you. Then there is these countries, Papua New Guinea, and then there is this New Zealand. Through the news, you learn these places. Like the New Zealand is known for this King.com guy, who is a scumbag, I believe. In my opinion, I think he's pretty much a scumbag. He's a billionaire, but he become rich by basically by pirating. On the surface, they say, he say, "Oh, I'm